Did y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Never heard that before. This meeting is being recorded. Okay, sorry. All right, so again, we're using our CPT and we're using evaluation and management. Y'all notice I did get my 2021 CPT book, so I do have the correct page numbers now. But I'm still getting my CPTs mixed up because I'm in 2020 with some and 2021 and some, and it's just really, it gets interesting in my brain sometimes. So I want you to remember that in the guidelines, which is the green before your chapter, you can find a lot of these answers. So if it's asking you, how do you determine levels of medical decision making, you can look in your guidelines and find it. Just go to that medical decision making portion. Your test will be multiple choice. So I don't want you to worry too much. You can look, anyway. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and so we can go ahead and go into some review. Okay, so this is the first one. It says these elements would be part of the blank history. Employment. Oh, wait a minute. I'm showing all the answers. I need to push present. Sorry. Employment, education, and use of drugs. Is that past, social, family, or any of the above?
Or any of the above.
Could it be any of the above?
No.
It can't?
No.
Wait,
It's going to be your social history.
Oh, so why? The history, the employment, the education, and the use of drugs.
And you have to understand when they're doing this kind of thing, the only time they're going to be interested in a past employment was like if you worked in a mine, like a coal mine or something, and you're having issues because of that.
Oh.
Education is strictly social, and then you stop and think about, do you socially use drugs or drink?
Oh, okay.
Those are social activities. So your answer would be B, social. Okay. Bruising would be an element of review of this organ system.
C.
Does everybody agree? So let's see. It is C. So some people may think integumentary because it is on the skin, but it's hematologic because it's blood. Bruising is blood under the skin. So it's not actually on the skin, it's under the skin. So it's hematologic. The HPI must be documented in the medical record by the physician, any office staff member, the patient, or any of the above.
Is it the physician?
What do y'all think?
Any of the above?
Can a patient ever document in a record?
No.
A medical record?
I think it's no.
Can you, if you're a medical receptionist in the office staff, can you document in a medical record?
No, it's A.
It's A, the physician.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I just wanted to talk through it to make sure we understood
it.
So A. The examination is the blank portion of the E&M service. Is it subjective, objective, assessment, or plan?
Assessment.
B. It's the assessment, right?
That's what I thought too, but it's not the assessment. That's way too easy. It's either subjective or objective. It's not subjective because that's the patient's point of view, right? So it's objective because he is objectively assessing the situation. So it is objective.
Oh.
I know that one was a little confusing to me too, and that's why I wanted to put it on here. So B. Okay, MDM, medical decision making, is based on the blank the physician must consider about the management of the patient's condition. Number of diagnoses, risk of morbidity, or amount of data, or all of the above. So where would you find that in your guidelines? Can we find that in our guidelines? Let's see. It's on page 14. So if we look at right underneath, it says MDM includes establishing diagnoses, assessing the status of a condition, and or selecting a management option. MDM in the office or other outpatient services codes are defined by 3 elements. The number and complexity of problems that are addressed during the encounter. So that's the number. The amount and or complexity of the data. So that's C right there. And then if we go down to our next bullet point, it says the risk, complications, and or morbidity or mortality. So what's our answer?
D.
D.
Did y'all say B or D?
D.
D. D. All of the above. So do you see if you look in your guidelines under that subject matter that you find the answer?
Yes.
Okay, what CPT code is assigned to an ED service that has a detailed history and exam with a moderate level of MDM? So remember, ED stands for Emergency Department.
Go to the emergency.
Oh. It's 8.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So have y'all made a decision yet?
Yeah.
What do we think?
8.
283.
You think, who said 99283?
I did.
Okay, when I look at 99283, it says expanded,
And
focused, expanded, problem focused, and moderate complexity. But when I look at 99284, it says detailed history, detailed exam, and moderate complexity. So I think it's A.
4.
Okay, I want y'all to bear with me. I want to show you something. So I'm going to have to pull my webcam down so I can show it to you. So can you bear with me with the jiggle for just a minute? Because I want to show you something that I do that is a neat tool that when you're working these problems, I'm going to go back to it and you can see how it's going to be just like this. Okay, so I just took the codes that we just had on our example. Okay, I'm looking at 99282. And it's expanded problem focus exam, and low medical decision making. By my bullet points, I wrote E-E-L. It's not very clear. By 99283, expanded, moderate, I wrote EEM. 99284, I wrote DDM, detailed, moderate. Then by 99285, I wrote CCH. Okay, so I'm going to hang this back up. I'm sorry. I know that was not as clear as I would like it to be. Now let's go back to our problem and let me show you why that makes it easy. Because it has a detailed history and exam. So that's a D. Oops. That's a D, moderate M. So I would look for a DDM. So 99284. Did that make any sense to you?
Yes.
If you go through, when you have time, you can do that to all of your bullet points. So whatever section you're in, if you're reading that scenario, and if it's expanded history and exam and low, you're going to know it's an EEL, and you can see your letters written beside your bullet point. All I look for is my letters. I just think it's, you know, I haven't done it with my new one. I just did it to this page real quickly so I could show y'all that little tool. It's completely up to you if you want to use it or not, but I think it makes everything so much easier. And even though we're finishing up E&M, when you get ready to take your certification exam and you have a question that's in the E&M section, it's just a quick tool. It just makes it fast to me. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. I had to show y'all that little tool. I just think it's a neat tool. Okay, so let's talk about an established patient. Is one who has received professional services from the physician or another physician of the exact same specialty and subspecialty in the same group within the past blank years.
B.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
It is B.
I'm used to that one.
Okay, when a physician performs a preventative care service, the extent of the exam is determined by the
Age.
the age. A?
Gender and age.
Yep, it's age. Did you guys tab your preventative care portion of your CPT?
No, I should have did.
Yep, it's by age. For example, 99382 is a new patient, early childhood, ages 1 through 4 years old. Okay, so one of the other things that we kind of have to be aware of is what is a organ system or a part of the body. So what is the neck?
It's a BA, huh?
It's a BA, it's a body area. Excuse me. So the neck is a body area. So what about the skin?
An organ system.
Oh,
It's an organ system. Okay, do you know what system it belongs to? The integumentary system. So B. Those are just some examples. Okay, so this is a coding problem. When you see this, does your heart go pitter, pitter, patter?
Yes.
There's a reason why I pulled up this one. I chose this one. I don't want you to go so many words. We're doing E&M. So we're looking for key things. We're talking about established patient. Are we talking about a new patient? We're going to kind of be looking first visit. Are we talking about a consultation? Dr. A requests that Dr. B talk to. We're going to be looking for those little words. It's got so much information in that scenario we do not need. You need to remember, where are we? We're in E&M. So all that we need is what evaluation and management we're doing, correct? So I purposefully put in a really, really long one because there may be a report that comes to you that's 10 pages and you need 2 lines out of the 10 pages. I don't want you to look at those and completely lose train of thought and get overwhelmed immediately. Don't do it. Remember, what are we doing? Are we just looking for E&M? Are we looking for anesthesia? What are we actually looking for? It can be a whole lot of stuff on there we don't even need, right? So when you see lots of words, it does not automatically equal lots of codes. Okay? All right. So let's go back and let's look at our wording. Okay, move out of our way. The patient is seen in the clinic at the request of Dr. Jones for evaluation of suprapubic pain. The patient is a 22-year-old Black female, presents with complaint of all these different things. Pain has become worse. Patient has been seen by Dr. Jones for this pregnancy, and it has also been seen by Dr. Smith for the current complaint 2 weeks ago. Patient denies urgency of and frequency of noctura, which is urination. Denies hematuria. She denies all these things. During an expanded problem-focused examination, the HEENT was found to be normal. Heart, all of these things, slight tender, and it's given us just some different things that's wrong. It's given us lots of diagnoses. But the very, you see number 2, acute UTI, the MDM was straightforward. So we're doing E&M, so what do we need to know? Let's see, what was our examination? Expanded problem focus, right?
Yeah.
So that's an E, and our medical decision making was straightforward. So what are we doing here? I'm gonna let y'all talk about it.
It's a consultation.
Okay, so the consultation, so where are our consultation codes at?
Page 27.
Yep, that's where I am too.
Yeah.
So we have an expanded problem-focused history and exam, and our medical decision-making is straightforward. So it's an EES.
99242.
Yeah.
So 99242.
Yeah.
Did we need all of that goobly gop? No. But we knew it was the NM. We knew what we were looking for. And so we were able just to kind of skim. I skimmed through that on purpose. I didn't read every word because you don't need to. You just need to skim through and find what you need. Do an E&M. We found out what kind of time he spent but by just saying that it was expanded, straightforward. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Whoopsie. Okay, a new patient presents to the physician's office, at which time the physician provides a comprehensive history and exam with a high complexity of MDM. So where are we going?
To the office.
New patient office, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Page 19.
And we're doing a CCH. Oh, well, you can't do CCH on that one. Sorry, y'all, we don't have bullet points on those anymore. We used to, but. So it's a high level of complexity, so you kind of have to read a little bit.
It's 99205.
Who agrees? What you think, Miss Roblin?
Yeah.
99205? That's right. It is a 99205. Do you remember what I told you when you have anything that ends in 5? What you have to do?
Oh.
Well, don't go back and look. I'll remind you. Medical records, because that's the highest level, so they get paid a lot of money. And when you turn in a 5, like the 99205 or the 99215 or something like that, the insurance is going to want to know, well, why did you have to spend that much time with them? So why are you charging me for that? So that's just a little tidbit if you code a 5. Okay. Yes, 99205. Okay, a 40-year-old established patient presents to the physician's office for a preventative care exam. So if you tabbed your preventative care, you should be able to go right to it.
I need to tab my screen.
Sorry, Ms. Robinson.
I'm going to do
Put
it.
some paper in there.
I know, and I'm going to do it today. Oh. Established patient.
Yep, we are established, so we have to make sure that we know whether we're new or established, our age, and this is preventative medicine because it's telling us. Miss Roblin, what you think?
I haven't got to them. I'm lost on them.
Look on page 48.
Oh. Is it 99396?
Let's see. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Find you a piece of paper or something and label that preventative medicine so you can find it.
Because I be going through this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I have a hard time finding preventative medicine. So if I'm not labeling anything else, I'm labeling preventative medicine.
Yes, I'm finna label it.
Okay. So patient presents for routine examination. Sally is a 42-year-old female who presents today for a routine physical examination. Pelvic exam, normal. Everything looks normal. All systems are with normal limits. And she's not going to return for 1 year or as needed. What are we looking for here, ladies?
It's in preventative care also.
It's in preventative care also. I wanted you to see how they can look differently. They don't always have to tell you they're preventative, right? But this is a 1 year checkup.
A routine.
Routine. And she doesn't have to come back for 1 year. So She's 42, and it doesn't say new, so we assume she's established. So, Miss Kelly, what do you think?
99396.
Yay! Okay. So now let's look at a modifier. I want you to stop and think about when we've talked about modifiers and which modifier is used most often in E&M. Modifier blank is used to indicate that a separately identifiable E&M service was performed by the same individual on the same day as the preventative medicine service. What modifier do you think that is?
Is it 25?
What do we think, ladies?
25.
25.
25.
25. Okay, I know I'm going fast, but we're running out of time. Okay, here's a progress note. The location, where's the location?
Hospital.
Hospital.
Okay, so we're in the hospital, right? The patient is seen today. She has been transferred from the ICU to the floor. She is essentially stabilized. She's having some sort of seizure activity. Her vitals overall are fairly well stabilized. Post-operative dressings are in place. She was sleeping when I saw her, so I did not wake her. Her toes are pink and warm, and calves are soft. His plan is he will continue to follow. From a standpoint, she can be mobilized and weight bear as tolerated on the left side. We will change her dressing and place TED hose on the left. We will continue to follow her INR and hemoglobin, Of note, she has been made code status. Okay, so what section do we need to be in?
No inpatient.
Has it on the first line. Hospital. That starts on page. Let's see. Let's start with page 23.
Initial hospital.
Okay, so what does initial mean?
That's the first time she's being seen.
That's the first interaction. Does this sound like this is his first interaction with her?
No.
No, it's subsequent.
So it's going to be subsequent. So now we have to decide which subsequent we would use. Did he have to make any decisions? He just saw her, right?
Right.
So it's the most, well, let's look at the times. 99231 was 15 minutes. 99232 is 25 minutes. And 99233 is 35 minutes. So if you had to assign a code just based on what you're reading, what would you assign?
99231.
Make sense?
April,